All right, Lauren, in this episode, we have two major celebrities today. One is the biggest star in the world. We also talk about pickup lines and intros people can dish out. Spoiler alert, starting with nice cooter isn't your best foot forward.
Give me more specifics. We don't give a fuck. Can you repeat that?
All right, Lauren, here we are.
Yes.
Again, hot as hell. I just wish we had an air conditioner that worked, or I was a reptile because I don't think they can feel heat. Is it true?
Well, they go in the sun. They
Yeah,
must
because
feel
they're
it.
fucking cold.
Yeah, so
they're
they feel
cold-blooded.
heat. You have to have a heat lamp if you have an iguana.
Yeah,
I
because they're
had
cold.
one.
Right, they don't need air conditioners. That's what I'm saying.
They can feel the heat. Song from the 80s.
I wasn't alive during the 80s.
Feel the heat.
And thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
For that, I'm going to buy an auto-tune app and we'll edit that in. So today, Lauren,
Yes.
we wanted to talk about something that came up in our group chat. We were talking to the people. We were like, hey, guys, are you coming to our event? Flirtation, when is it?
February 18th through the 23rd.
It is the most grandest time. I don't know why I use the word grandest.
Because you just went back to the 20s.
Right. We were talking to our private Patreon Telegram group, and we were like, hey,
Yes.
who's in here that's coming to the February event? Event of all events.
Yes.
It's like the big top, right? A lot of people started to chime in with information. They were like, we want to go, but we're a little weary and we're a little scared.
Yeah, it would be our first one, and we don't know what to expect.
And this made me quite upset.
Well, yeah, you get fearful because you're like, no, what are you guys thinking? Like, no, it's not like that. Let me help every single person on a private chat or something because that's how you are.
Well, I never thought that people really had that kind of fear. Like, I just sort of went along in the world and thought, well, why wouldn't you go? That's silly. Like, but they're doing
it's fun. The video looks fun. And they're like, the video looked crazy. We're like, do more B-roll of people just reading books.
So this episode is all about getting you to Flirtation in February because it is an amazing event. It is so much fun, but it's actually hard to describe how much fun it is. And that's what this episode is dedicated to.
It's about making you feel comfortable.
Like I do when I give my examinations to the ladies, I just say, sit back, just relax, take a deep breath, and you're going to feel a little bit of pressure. Now, as creepy as that sounds, that is not what our party is like.
That's not what happens.
It's not what our event is like. But we do really want you there. The people that listen to this podcast are the people that go. It is an amazing vibe to have all of those people there at the exact same time. So it's important that you get out your wallet. I don't know if people still use wallet.
Take out your phone, go to room77life.com. It's right there on the homepage and just book it.
Just book it. There's nothing to be afraid of. And we're going to prove that in this particular segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a few different examples like hedonism, desire, temptation.
And a takeover, like something like ours.
And we're going to compare and contrast like we're scientists, but not the boring kind of scientist. This kind of scientist you see on Pornhub.
The half-dressed kind of hot scientist.
Yeah, the kind where they're using Bunsen burners, but there's not enough in the budget to actually light them. And they're doing an experiment, but it turns into sex within 3 minutes.
The apron to protect them and nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, transitions in porn should be its own podcast. Like, sometimes I'm like, that is a record transition from doctor to BJ. I mean, that was record time. By the way, the odd part of that, I still fast forward through it.
It's not fast enough.
So comparing those things, it's a little bit of this balancing act. This is something I always bring up my celebrity because it can't hide it. Right?
Everyone knows you are a big celebrity, Richard.
I still walk out this house and look for paparazzi. It's like a reaction. I can't. People used to ask, right? They used to be like, what's it like being, in Hollywood when you're on TV and all that stuff? They paint it in this sort of manner that's like everything is amazing all the time. It's because you see snapshots. You literally see one still frame on a red carpet.
They're going to
at
dinner,
a party,
and events.
Right. Unless it's Britney Spears having an absolute meltdown.
Right.
Usually what you're seeing is the best of the best. And it is one frame that you're judging all of this. this off of. And it just doesn't exist. Most of the time, you live kind of a boring existence.
Well, and you kind of relate that. You'd be like, come on, people, how is your Facebook feed and how is your real life? We all know you're posting some edited shit up there. So
Great point. I mean, you look at these social media accounts and you know that they're embellished. Why would that be any different about our party? I mean, it's sort of the same thing. You look at these people and
you show the best of the best.
you show the best of the best. You show the part that looks the most fun about your part.
There's me going out.
No one is posting photos of you cleaning dirty underwear. Like, look what I did today.
Laundry.
YOLO.
You only laundry once.
Oh, wow. Nice. But what I'm saying is, because I want you to get off of my celebrity, you know how much I hate you talking about it.
I always bring it up.
What I wanted to talk about is the party aspect in the videos and the photos is a lot like that, is we're painting this picture that shows the best moments of. It's like a highlights reel, right? So we had this discussion. We were like, do we need to sort of tone it down? And it's kind of hard to do because if you tone it down, you may make it look too boring. If you don't tone it down, you may be you're sort of trying to find the people that want to have fun, that want to be in this environment. I don't know. Maybe we'll make a new video, but I don't have any new footage. So, and I don't feel like spending the time. So we did something even better. We went out to all of our resources.
Yes.
It was one couple. And we were like, look, you guys have been to Temptation.
Yes.
You guys have been to Hedo. You guys have been to our event, and you guys are going to Desire a little later this year. So would you talk about what the difference is, if there is any, and what the pros and the cons are, to know what their sense was coming up and showing up to a takeover, to our event, compared to going to something like Temptation or going to something like Hedo? And now what it's like going to Desire. Do they have any fear with them? So we are going to introduce these two. Now, hello, Mr. and Mrs. I'm going to grab names for you in a second. I'm going to start with Mrs., actually. Mrs., what is, and don't think too hard on this, but what is name me a favorite movie or television show. Favorite.
Top Gun.
Okay, Kelly McGillis was in that. Your name is Kelly. Sir, name a TV show or a movie.
Top Gun.
Okay. You are Tom, because I'm not going to call you Maverick.
You're going to call me Maverick before this is over.
I will call you Maverick sometimes. Tom and Kelly. Okay.
Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Goose.
All right. And we've opened that can of worms.
There it is.
How are you guys? How are you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
Hi, guys.
We are fantastic. How many of the Room 77 events have you been to?
2.
I think it's two. I think it's
2 going on 3.
Sensation and flirtation.
You'll be going on 3. One of the things that I remember most about the two of you is having sex with your wife. That's really the part that sticks out to me.
You had sex with my wife?
I didn't want you to find out this way.
Oh.
But you were there.
Was he good?
Yeah.
No. So here's what we wanted to ask. Coming to the event, the first one, did you know us or meet us before you came to that event?
No.
You had just listened to the podcast.
Yeah, all we did was listen to the podcast. And we're like, hey, these guys sound fun. I mean, he sounds a little quirky and stuff, and Lauren sounds super hot. So we're going to go to this. So we signed up, and the rest is history.
When you went to that initial event, did you have a sense of fear or like, oh my God, what's it going to be like before you got there?
I wouldn't say fear. I think we were a little nervous because it was, our first lifestyle takeover event. As far as a takeover at a hotel, we weren't nervous by no means, because listen to your guys' podcast. I'll be quite honest with you. This is no BS. Listen to your guys' podcast. We felt like we knew you guys.
Yeah.
And it sounds funny, but we did. And then we got on the, Patreon deal, and the chat, and we started knowing, all the other people on there. So we weren't nervous. We were anxious and excited, which is a little bit different.
Listening to the podcast definitely made it easier. And then connecting with people on chat before, we were excited to meet all the people we were talking to, and especially meet you guys.
Opposed to that little bit of anxiety, we have the same anxiety still. We are going to a party in 2 weeks, and we already have anxiety about going to that party. And I think that's something that exists in everybody. We call it the lunchroom table. Like, is there going to be somebody to sit with at lunch? And we all sort of go through that. People seem to have this image that Desire and Temptation are one thing, and then these takeovers are giant orgies, aggressive, and it's just a lot of drugs and partying and all night long. When you got there, Was it much more different than you had expected?
I'll take it over here. This is the Maverick, by the way, Maverick. So what I liked about we come into your takeover. When you come into that, you're like meeting friends, and you're like, "Hey, you're from the chat, yada yada yada." But if you go to like a Hedo or a Temptations or Desire or any of those larger resorts, when you walk through there, you get and this is no bullshit, you get the sense of you're like fresh meat.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, ooh, look at them. And like, oh my God, literally it's a little bit uncomfortable. But when we came to your guys's, it was like Lauren met us. Hey, what's going on? And it was like meeting friends. It's a much different, it was a more intimate meeting and experience with you guys at your takeovers than going to a big cookie cutter resort. Like, you're going to Walmart for sex. Like that's literally what it is. And I like the takeovers because you're like friends.
That's awesome.
We spent so much time at Desire. We spent a lot of time there, going there as guests, and then just being there three years working. We still walked through the door. We were still sort of that fresh meat every single week. We had to get to know people to sell the workshop. And by sell, I put that in quotes. It was free. And it was the same feeling as walking into a pool and getting to know a couple. No one knew who you were. So when this came up in this group chat, I was taken aback immediately. Like, wait, no, this is actually sometimes way more relaxed.
Yeah. Like just from booking travel, there's a lot of times that people ask, are we booking dates where there's a group that's going to be there? Because if you're not doing an actual takeover, and a lot of people say they're doing a takeover, but it's not necessarily true, where you're buying out the hotel for only your people, it's just called a group. And groups go there. You may have, 50 couples or something. And then what happens is everyone else there feels isolated. And no matter what side you're on, it's divided. You've created like an inorganic atmosphere.
Everybody is not on the same playing field, regardless of with the group or without the group. You've created a dynamic now that feels off, and it's sort of stressful for everyone now. And we see it a lot out there. If you can book through the hotel's website, it is not a takeover. You are taken to a third party. That is something that can only be booked through the third party and controlled by the people who bought out the hotel. For instance, Temptation, Takeover, the Tower.
Yeah.
That's one part of the entire hotel. They're not taking over the entire resort. That is a group. And people don't want to be around that because then they're like, well, come on, man. Like there's a bunch of people here that feels cliquey now. And
Richard, this is Maverick again. But go back to this deal. Like you're talking about the hotels or the resorts and your takeovers. We've been to Hedo twice. There was always two huge groups there. I'm not going to name the groups, but there was two huge groups there that took over. It wasn't a takeover by no means. Like if you're not a personality that literally just jumps in the fire and runs into this group and introduces, hey, I'm Maverick. You don't. They're like, this is Kelly. The takeover groups is a true takeover,
it's a cohesive unit.
Yeah,
compared to even in a hotel situation. Look, we're fans of the vibe at Desire. I mean, sometimes it can be a little bit dull, but there's an ebb and flow that goes to Desire. There's also an ebb and flow that goes to Temptation. So if we were going to talk to you about just a comparison, Temptation, as far as the wildness, for those who don't know, Temptation, they are not clothing optional.
No, they're just
topless optional. Mm-hmm. They allow single males, right?
And single females.
Yeah. Nobody seems to complain about the single females. But that is something that people should know. Not really geared towards the swinger lifestyle, but it is something where a lot of swingers go. When you go there, what is your experience compared to like a Hedo? Would you say that Temptation is easier swallowed? That's a bad choice of words.
I would say yes. Hedo is a next level of, you're going to see stuff that you would never see at Temptation. Okay, so like the pool can be very crowded, the nude pool. And if you at Hedo, and if you've got to get out of the pool, you better be prepared that somebody's probably going to brush up against you uninvited at times. Like it's happened to me multiple times.
We'll be right back.
The Patreons made this episode.
You know what? Maybe those Patreons should have a Patreon for being a Patreon. That would be silly. As we pause, I'm going to name the new Patreons that joined to support us and help make this episode possible. Go over to patreon.com/room77
Or just Google it and join.
and help us make this podcast just like you did this time. Bill, Chris, Francier. I don't think I said that right. S&J.
The conversations over there are great in Telegram.
It's how this episode actually happened. John and Rachel, Hugo, S&J 2017, Seth, Drew, Rebecca.
And you're supporting two people who otherwise have no discernible skills, and we would be lost without you.
Belizean Beast, Mr. Goodman, Raul,
Talk to other amazing people
Joe, Spencer, Pete, and DG.
and make this content with us.
Just trying to get through the pool because it's so crowded.
So Hedo has two sides. They have a nude side and they have a prude side. So it is not clothing optional there. You don't really have the option. If you're in the nude side, you have to be nude.
Right.
They give you 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Now, and when I say 10 minutes, they mean 10 minutes. The first time we went down there, we walked down the beach. We went past a sign where you have to be nude from this point on. I'm like, okay, here we go. I mean, we were a little bit nervous about it, of course. And we walked around the corner and there's this huge pool and everybody's partying and they're all naked. And if you don't have your clothes off in 10 minutes, they either ask you to take your clothes off or they ask you to leave. And that's no BS.
Not to bash any place that has this policy because they're not the only ones that have this policy. I personally hate that. I love being nude, but I also like the option of not being nude.
Yeah.
Because here's one simple one. I do not like eating. I don't like nude in food. It is a personal preference to me. If I'm snacking on something, I don't like looking at my junk. I just don't. It's one of those things that I'm just like, that's just one difference
That's one
between.
thing, yeah.
That's one of the difference. The other thing that surprises first timers saying, we're going to go to Hedo. We've never tried Hedo. And I would be like, I wouldn't do that if I were
I
you.
do that a lot actually in travel. Like, they want to go to Desire. Desire dates would be full or Desire would be too pricey. And they're like, what do you think about Hedo? And I always steer them away from Hedo and say, just go to Temptation.
Get your toes a little wet.
Yeah, just kind of.
I would totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Because we didn't research. We were in the lifestyle for, I don't know, a while before we decided to go to Hedo, but we jumped in for sure. Not going to something smaller first.
Yeah.
And, there were a few probably, I don't know what you want to call them.
We have a few issues,
Yeah.
with people. Issues is going to be the word with other people and stuff. And Temptations is much different than Hedo. Temptations is more, it's like lifestyle friendly instead of lifestyle. And it's more of a party, but I mean, it's fun, but Hedo is you're either in the lifestyle or you're a nudist.
What we find in Temptation is problematic for people's first time. Temptation as a whole, especially if you go there and you are in the lifestyle, there's a gray area that lives in Temptation with, are they in the lifestyle or are they here to just party? And you spend a lot of time and energy trying to figure that out. It just gets really, really confusing because they don't even know if they're in the lifestyle.
We created in our space is something so important as a space where you can meet couples where there isn't a lot of pressure. It's not strip your clothes off and jump in the pool.
Right.
And
that's a lot of pressure to walk down the beach and be like, all right, this is it.
This is
you have
it.
no choice.
We've never been to Hedo. And it's actually for some of these reasons. But what is the single guy situation? What does it consist of? And you can be as graphic as you want.
There are single guys for sure. And you know who they are. Because you'll sit at the bar, the swim up bar, in the pool, and there's a whole bunch of people, and you're rubbing up against everybody, and it's really kind of weird because nobody ever leaves the pool to go to the bathroom, so it's kind of weird.
I do. I always do.
Well, Kelly does, and I do, of course, but they don't. And so, but you see the single guys because they almost like hover, they like walk around the pool. Like strutting their stuff. I remember there was one guy, he had a big old hammer. I'm like, what the hell is that thing? What does it eat? And he just kept walking around the pool. I'm like, there it is. Look at it. She's like, oh my God. And everybody's like, here it comes. And they just literally walk around the pool like sharks circling I mean, it's seriously, that's how it is.
Not something I'd want to experience. My first experience into the lifestyle. But number two, if I had a giant hammer, I would be doing exactly the same thing.
Can't fault him.
That was about to come out of my mouth, Richard. I would be walking with you, two hammers, walking around the pool.
That's what they would call us, Mav, is the two hammers.
You just called me Mav. I love
And
it.
nobody will talk to you because everybody's intimidated by you.
Really, I don't want to say anything bad about the place. This is merely about a comparison and trying to get people comfortable with coming to one of our events and having sex with Lauren, because that's really what we're selling now is
Lauren, I'm coming in February.
Yeah. So that's what we're selling. And that is something that none of these resorts can offer.
Let's just say it doesn't really matter whether it's Hedo, Temptations, Desire, and the big resorts compared to a Takeover is everybody can go clothes shopping at the big box stores, right? The big stores, there's a pile of clothes there. You can pick out whatever you want. Then everybody knows, like, you go to the boutiques or whatever, and you can pick out, and you have one person helping you shop. It feels more intimate. You get to know people, and they help you. If you're a first timer and you jump into Hedo, unless you're a super, super outgoing person, I don't know. That may be a lot. That's a lot.
I would agree with that. Most people do at hotel takeovers is they curate that event for the people. Whereas the big box ones, as you're talking about, kind of dulled down. I don't know if you've ever seen the Playroom. There is no Playroom at Temptation, but when you do see the Playroom at Desire, you are going to compare to, you remember what our Playroom looked like, right? I mean, it was so much fun. Right?
Super nice.
Yes.
Super
I can't
nice.
wait till you compare that Playroom to the Playroom at Desire. Things that we do to curate for the people that we know, the things that we know that they like. Whereas these people that own these giant factories are looking for a bottom line.
Yeah,
And your entertainment is top notch. It is amazing. And the other thing too, when you go to your events at smaller Takeover, you're there the entire time with the same people. There's no revolving door. You don't have, 24 hours to get to know somebody before they leave and they have to get on their plane, right? So you have some time, like you can take your time to get to know somebody a little better. And the vibe just gets better and better as the week goes on, in my opinion.
We've had people at your guys' takeovers, and I can show you my phone. We talk to them every single day. To this day, we talk to them. We 2 or 3 couples that we talk to every single day, and the only time we ever see them is at your takeovers, and we're super excited for the one in February because we're going to see them all. We went to Hedo and all these other places. We don't talk to those people ever. The people that we met, we are friends. Every single day we talk.
One of the things that you did at our event, which we really liked at both of our events, was you took out your whips and chains, which I know you're into, and you beat to death most of the people. No, you didn't. But you put people on the St. Andrew's cross. People were like, hey, is anybody interested in being flogged? And it was fun watching the guests get up there and just experience as this group, because everybody was like, I don't know, I always wanted to, but
first night, I don't know. And by the end of the week, I think there was a line.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Everybody's
they were
willing
like,
to try it.
They were like, when are you going in there? Because we don't want to miss it.
Be there.
We heard that you did so-and-so last night and we won't want to miss it.
I'm going to send you a bill for the next time because I was putting in the work.
Do you have any torture devices there at your home?
I wouldn't say torture.
You have to sign a waiver when you come in the front door. We have fun things. No torture devices.
No crosses that come down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
We don't. Maybe. It's not really. It's sort of. It's not really a cross, but there's stuff. We have a fun room in our house that has some fun stuff in it. Yes.
If it could be more secretive, that would be.
But not torture.
Good kind of torture. The kind of torture like, the Spanish used to do in the 1600s.
The Inquisition type.
Yeah. So whatever we can pack in our bags, we will bring in February.
We appreciate you telling the people there's not to be afraid of us.
Not to be afraid.
No. And they should go to the flirtation. I know you're going to say no, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to give your phone number out, and you're just going to take phone calls from people who have questions.
Perfect.
So you may see some weird numbers, get some weird phone calls.
It's fine. 1-800-MAVERICK. It's fine. Just send them my way. It's fine. And I will tell you though, we've been to all the Hedos and all that stuff, but we'd much rather do, and I'm not just saying this because we're on your podcast, but we would much rather do the takeovers. And if we could, all the stars were to align, we would be the one in October. We just can't make it because of work. But we wouldn't even do the big resorts. We would just do your takeovers like all the time because it's more fun for us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We spend a lot of time watching the other places and hearing what people say and what annoys them. We're going to bring this because we know that this annoys people. We know people behind management's back make fun of this. And we don't get it perfect. It's hard to do when you're flipping these places because they are machines at what they do. But we try really hard to take it to that level that says to these people, we are your people. We're right here. And we did this for you. And the more fun you have, it brings us so much joy.
You make it beautiful. Like the resort is beautiful. The entertainment, like I said, is top notch.
The vibe is fantastic.
It's amazing.
It's not pushy. It's fun. Get a little crazy and party at night, but that's what we're there for, right? We're there to dance and party and have fun. And then during the day, it's chill and you can make it as fun as you want or as chill as you want. And there's no pressure. And you know, some of these big resorts, you have the playmakers, right? Where they make you I'm like, I don't want to get up there and dance. I'm sorry. I'm going to hang out by the pool and I don't want to do that. And it's your guys' takeovers. You can do that. You cannot do that. And there's no pressure in it. And it's a lot more of a takeover is a lot more of a personalized.
I got in trouble at the pool at Temptations for talking. I'm like, what?
Oh my God. Yes.
So what we do is
you were there.
We read the crowd. And if everybody is talking in a group, then we won't interrupt it. We will just let it flow. If things start to seem a little bit dull and people are kind of looking around for things to do, then we'll start a game. It's one of those things about curating and being a lifestyle factory or a swinger factory.
Well, I think it has to do with the fact that, you know, you guys have been in lifestyle a long time. We've been in lifestyle for 20 years and we've been going to these resorts for over 10 years, probably close to 15 years. We've been going to either lifestyle takeovers or something along that line.
Our first thing was a takeover in Mexico, but in Cabo.
Yeah. And we went to like some in Vegas, or not Vegas, in Palm Springs and Naked Places and then Desire. And when you're talking about something of people who have been doing this a long time, and they've been in the lifestyle a long time and they've been around the resorts for a long time, you're coming with like a level of, we are the people. We are your people. And I just texted that to someone today because she said, thank you so much for making sure that we got into the Telegram group. I have never had this much attention at an event before from going to any other event. You guys are really amazing. And I was like, well, we're your people. Like, we're not business. I mean, I wish we were because I'm sure we'd be making way more money because we always tell people we're not business oriented. We're just lifestyle people and we want to make you have an amazing vacation. That's the most rewarding thing for me to hear you say that you have friends in your phone from our takeover is like
makes you jealous. What were you going to say?
We just try not to bother you every day.
It's like warms my heart to the nth degree. It's awesome.
So for those of you who are listening, take it from Maverick and Kelly. They're honest names, right?
Of course.
Just that alone you can trust. You know what I mean?
I can fly a jet airplane better than anybody in the whole wide world. Go to a damn takeover. It's a great time. Relax. It's going to be fun. Relax.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being on.
Thanks for having us on. Yes. Do not be afraid. Go to Room 77 takeovers. They are the best.
Especially if you want to meet these two hotties because they're really sweet.
And get flogged.
Yeah, maybe they'll flog you. They're just happy talking to you. Also, so we're putting them out there. In February, they will also have sex with you. Nobody else can offer that. We just did. There you have it. It's a special we're running right now.
Glad to help out.
We're just putting code GooseMe.
I love it.
And we'll get you going on that with that offer. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Can't wait to see you.
Same.
All right.
Well, there you have it. Go over and give something new a try. Go to Flirtation in February. Go to our website and book it now. And I promise you, it will be a blast.
We're going to take care of you. We're going to hold each and every one of you like little bebés.
I will hold your hand. We can skip. I promise you, it is not that scary image that you have in your head.
And if you are on the edge and you do want to have an orgy, you can do that in our room. Just ask. Promo code GooseMe.
I'm giving up, getting into you.
Hey, Lauren, how are you? You look mighty tan.
Thanks. I've been making myself go out and get some sun.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the peptide that we've been injecting ourselves with. Nothing to do with that at all. I had read an article that said that a guy took too much and he went into the sun for a little too long and turned the color of mahogany. And I thought, well, that's funny. And then I did the same thing and turned a color of mahogany. I thought, oh, well, I went a little too far with that one. But it does work. Melanotan 2. I don't know what one was like.
Not as good as I'll tell you that much.
I don't know what the first version did, unless it made you grow a tail. I don't know what happened.
Melana tail.
So today we are going to talk a little bit about the worst things you can hear when you are approached, whether that is in person or you are on one of the websites, whatever it is. I asked our private Telegram Patreon group, what are the things that just rub you the wrong way? What are the things that you hear and you're like, I don't like that at all. I specifically had asked the ladies, and then the guys just started jumping in with theirs as well. So I figured, why not include them? So we got a bunch of these. You read them?
I just read what some people had said to them.
Okay, I didn't know that you read them. I was going to, because I was going to try some of them on for size, but off
in the Telegram group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the ones that you didn't read that rub you the wrong way as soon as somebody comes up and says something?
I don't like when people come up and say, you're gorgeous, he's all right.
Yeah, I hate that. That's sort of in there.
It is.
Yeah, but we have had men in that same thing say like, and I'm asking you guys, please do not say this. Because the women never say it, the men always do. It's really nice to meet you. Well, it's really more nice to meet her. I don't really care about you. And guess who's not getting laid?
Yeah,
you
are.
are.
To me.
You just insulted the person that she loves. Why would you say, I don't care about the person that you love the most? Why would that come out of your mouth?
Again, You're not trying to win me over. We're playing as a team.
It's not a contest, but if it was, you just lost.
But I don't understand why people don't understand that we're a team. Like, I just don't get that.
Well, we should get jerseys. That's probably half of the confusion right there. So here's another one. Well, you're a lucky guy. I always hated that. Yeah. I always hated that comment. You're a lucky guy. I just always take offense to that. And I know I shouldn't. I know it's meant as a compliment. To me, I would never say that to another man because I don't think that I don't know you well enough to judge you on I'm not lucky, I'm just rich. I'm rich and she's shallow.
We'll be right back to the show after these messages. So if you know, you know.
If I know what?
Bikini Addiction knows.
They know what?
They know that the pineapple is a sign.
But some people don't know that that's a sign of the lifestyle.
Yeah, so what they did is they took that pineapple and they got a bright yellow fabric with purple pineapples upside down, some of them, and they made neon pineapple into a bikini for you.
So what you're saying is if buy the public pool because maybe you don't have a lot of money because you spend it all on bikinis yes. And you go to the public pool with your 9 children, most of them swinger babies, and you are in the lifestyle. You're sitting by the pool and they see this pattern. They think,
I'm going to go up and flirt with her and see.
But on the same aspect, if one of those people at the public pool are like, oh, that's a cute bikini. To them, that's all it is.
They don't know.
So if you know, you know. Bikini Addiction knows. What don't the people know about how to get one on their tush?
So go to bikiniaddiction.com, get your neon pineapple, and save 10% with promo code ROOM77 at checkout.
Now back to the show. You don't know anything about my life, sir.
That's our contract.
So that's how it works. She may not see this face that is covered half by a mask. I loved operas, and there was a tragic accident. But we're not lucky. This just happened, man. You don't know our lives.
And she used to not look like this at all. She had completely reconstructed surgery. She was born with 3 legs when I met her.
A
door.
Yeah. And we had to have her extended.
All kinds of things.
Right. She wasn't tan, which we just fixed. That was the last thing we just fixed.
We just got that.
Just finished that one up, sir. So okay. I am not lucky. This is a lot of work.
Very expensive.
If anybody's lucky, it's her because I bankrolled all that. It wasn't cheap. Here's one. She's my type. Mm-hmm. Oh, she is such my type.
Well, and you're guilty of saying that too, but.
Whoa.
But what?
No. The context of that is very, very important.
Okay.
When you say it, like you said, as a pickup line in the first couple of sentences is very different than when you have been talking to someone for hours, if not an entire day. I would never, ever walk up and say, she's my type.
Yeah, no, I agree with it. It's approach lines. I was thinking about just anything.
But
Sorry.
no. I have said later on after talking, but thank you for throwing me under the bus there.
Cluck, cluck.
That really helped. Here's one. Does she like to blank? I don't know. Go ask her. Like, what? Is this the 1800s?
Excuse me, sir. May I ask you about your lady?
May I ask you about your chattel? Would you be willing to trade for 2 goats and 7 chickens? Also,
I will let you lay with my wife for the evening.
If I lie with your life, does she like it in the position of dogs? Go ask her, man. We're standing right here. What are you checking with me? She is a strong female woman who has a very strict set of rules that she has to live by that were made by me. So
ask her.
So go ask her. But do not let her look you in the eye. She's not allowed to do that. Yeah, another one on that line, because I'm reading these, I apologize, is, we've heard these. These are exact lines. Yeah, we noticed you guys from across the pool. Well, to be honest, we just noticed her. Again, foul ball.
Yeah.
Foul ball.
I mean, what's the point? What is the strategy? What's the end game?
Now, here are some of the other ones people have gotten on websites where they reach out, and this is where
maybe you're getting a bad one right now.
It could be. That was actually from SDC. That it was a message from SDC. No lie. Here's one that my friend got, and this was real. It was so real that he sent it to me and was like, "How do I answer this?" It was about 4 sentences long, and it was like, "Hello, how are you? Does your wife play separate?" Like, what?
Well, first of all, they're assuming the guy's reading the email, which is not.
That's
happens. Not always true. Oh my God.
This happens to be an interracial couple, a black-white couple. This is when people walk up to them and say, my wife has a fantasy of being with a black guy. And as she said it, quote, "It dries me up like a desert instantly." And I would think as it should, right? Because
it's so awkward.
Someone else put in here, nice cooter, but I think that was a joke. Here's a really good one. A couple brought up that it is a red flag if a couple says, "Hey, we're glad we got to talk to you because we're having a really hard time here connecting with other couples." Red flag, right?
You're like, first of all, why? Second of all, stage 5 clinger, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. You're with us now.
Yeah, let's go to dinner. Do you want to go to dinner? How about breakfast?
Let's schedule all dinners, all breakfast, all lunch together. We do everything together from here on out. Should I move my room? The example that I gave was when someone approaches us and they say, "Yeah, rough crowd here tonight, huh?" I'm always a bit like, even if it's...
You talk to everybody here already.
But even if it's true, even if you go to a place and it's a crappy crowd, that's something between you and your spouse. That's something between you and your partner. Don't approach someone and say, "Hey, us four are different from all these assholes, aren't we?" It just makes you sound like a dick. What else do we got here? Here's a good one. This happens to me, and I think it does happen to some other people when we talked about it in the Telegram, which is usually by the woman in the group being ignored. There's 4 people, but it slowly turns into a threesome where you have turned to me and said, "I think you may be wearing your invisible cloak." I'm not sure.
How do you feel about making sandwiches today?
Yeah, I'll be making sandwiches in the corner, but you guys have fun. I'll be back in an hour. See how everybody's doing.
Give you waters, little Gatorade. And each one of these has its own kind of way to get out of it. You know, like there's a person who it's their responsibility to grab the hand of their partner. But that's a whole swinger university kind of shit.
My response to all of these is throw your drink in their face. That's fine. If it's on the website, block them. I don't care what it is. It's just, for me, it's just extreme everything. That's what you get at Room 77 University.
Rape whistle.
Yeah, rape whistle. Do you guys do separate rooms? Restraining order. That's how I
Why
roll.
did you pack the pepper spray? No, the bear spray this time. Oh,
Bear spray.
bring it up a notch.
Is your wife into anal? Bear spray. Here's a really good one. Anybody who mentions marriage problems while they're in the middle of anything, really, I mean, that is something that for anybody would be unsettling in this lifestyle. Is anybody who's bringing up marriage problems? Like, I don't want to be a marriage counselor in the middle of any of this. I don't want to give advice. I don't want anybody crying. I don't want to pick anybody up. I don't want to tend to anybody's ego.
Nor do I want to be that very last straw.
Yeah, I don't want to be the straw that breaks that camel toe's back. Do not.
Because you're like, you could be like Team Navy SEAL, like couple Navy SEAL, and you're in and you're out. And their problems stay their problems, and you had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
but that's high risk.
Yeah, if they drag you in, though, like we've been in situations that have ended with her crying in a corner in another room, and you're like, this is hours of, you can't just walk out.
No, you can't. I mean, you could if you were an asshole, but no, you can't.
Now you can. You just bear spray them.
That's why we upgraded.
Yeah, that's what you do now. You bear spray them and you hit them with a restraining order. Wham, bam. I'm out of here. Room 77 University right there. Yeah, we'll get you to taser level soon. Here's one thing that somebody got, which was, how big is your D? What's it look like? What's your D look like? Which I understand to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be the first thing out of your mouth. There are people who want to make sure that things are right down there.
One of the benefits of being at a resort.
Yeah, being at a clothing optional resort is great because you get to check out the merchandise before you buy it. But on these websites, sometimes, you can open their pages and there's still no photos of genitalia. So I take this fear to the other side. The closest I would ask is, do you shave? Like,
That's
do you trim? Because that would be a weird question. But it is a risk for me if I see all these photos and there's no photos of her cooter, and I'll steal that man's word because I'm not really into bushy women.
Right.
And I don't mean the Australian.
It's something okay to ask eventually. At the beginning, maybe not so much.
And then the last one that I just took out here, this usually happens within 11.7 minutes. Usually this question gets floated out there in a way that they feel is casual. Bless their little hearts. They feel like it's casual, but it's really not. And it sounds a little like this. So you guys full swap or...
I just went straight back to the pool of anywhere.
Right?
Yes.
And it's like, I mean, usually you just say, yeah, we are. But at the same time, my feelings start to go, not with you.
Right. Because then what's the end of that sentence coming?
Right. Well, this is what happens is like you talk to the people on the message board, how that conversation went on Telegram is they say, no, we're soft swap, even though they did in fact have one full swap in their life. They project a soft swap, which is smart because you don't want to send that signal out there if you're not sure. You give them low expectations, and then the prize is, hooray, you get to stick it in me. But that's the right way to do it, not the other way around and lead them down a road. But what happens is they say soft swap, they are ghosts, they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, why waste my time with you people? And that's a weird thing for me anyway, because when I talk about full swap for me is obviously fun. The most of my time is not spent in that particular part of the sexing with the other female.
Yeah.
It usually happens for a period of time, but it's usually a percentage that's probably below 25% of the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And you go back and forth and it's there's just a lot happening.
I don't know. My response when they said that was, I've heard this so many times. I don't know if they're asking because it really makes that big of a difference to them, or if they're asking out of an experience. Like, you have to be full swap because that's what, or if they're just DTF and that's all they
I think
want.
they're just DTF, and that's kind of what they want. I don't think any soft swapper is asking that. I think soft swappers say up front, we're soft swap, but they don't advertise that they're soft swap.
Yeah.
Like, we're soft swap, everyone, so make a line here. So I saw somebody online. It was on a TikTok. By the way, stop listening to us and everybody else. It's like there's so much bad information out there. I'm reading someone's thing and they're making a one of those things, those TikToks where you just point to shit and there was words on the screen, and it said full swap is penetration into organs. And
Organs?
yeah, hold on. And soft swap is no penetration into organs. And I'm like, stop. Oral is sort of penetration. It's like you're making it sound like oral's not involved, like they're not penetrating
Right.
the mouth or doing anything. It makes it sound.
Oh, God.
It's the mouth and organ. I'm going to look it up. The hollow organs that make up the GI tract starts with the mouth. So the mouth is part of the GI tract. You can consider the mouth an organ. Good day, Sarah. I said good day. Like, how many organs can you penetrate? Oh, I was confused if full swap meant anal's not included. There's a lot of bad information out there just from people. And the other thing that I will say about the social media out there, they want so much content that they just start making shit up. It's ridiculous. And what happens is and I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just like you're trying so hard to make shit up. This happens in the fitness world, and we've talked about this together.
Yeah.
I go to the gym now and I'm like, wait, did they say that exercise was bad or good? Wait, did they say that I should bench press 9 times a week or only 1 time per week? Wait, is this a waste of my time or is it not? Because everybody's contradicting one another.
Right.
Everybody's saying different things. It just becomes this cacophony of noise, right? And that's what they do in the LS world. But we've walked into gyms, so at least you have some sort of basis of exercise. Imagine walking into the lifestyle and you know nothing and you have that gym stuff coming at you. How could you ever possibly find out what is accurate? So
Yeah.
our message to you, and this includes us, don't listen to us. Don't listen to anybody. It's your journey. Go out there, start slow, keep communicating. You will figure it out. I promise you. But there is no short, simple answer to any of these things. You just heard all of these things that we just said that no one can teach you how to react.
It's such a not complicated thing if you just do it together and ask questions along the way.
It's not as complicated as some out there are trying to make it.
Yeah.
There are some out there that are trying to make the lifestyle swingers feel like you have some sort of disability. Are you two dealing with lifestyle? If so, don't be ashamed of being a swinger.
It's time you come out.
You were born like this. There's nothing to be afraid of. And with adaptation, hard work, and a little bit of spirit, we're going to make it through this. I just want to put this out there. These are things how not to approach. However, here's the irony in it all. For you and I.
Yeah.
We are not against a couple that's attractive to walk up to us and say, you guys want to fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. All right, let's go. That's how fast it would take. Again, there's an example of it's not that simple. You just heard all of these things that we listed and sort of these awkward, cringy things. Then you hear the definitions of what these are and what all these content creators are putting out there. And then you hear 2 people who've been doing this so long that says it is possible for 2 people to walk up and say, do you want to F? And we're like, yeah, let's going. Not only is it possible, it has happened several times to us. Didn't even get their names. So that's how complicated it can be. And it can't be explained in a 30-second TikTok. It can't be explained in a YouTube video. You just got to get out there, trust your partner, and start slowly and do it on your own. I promise you, no one is going to just penetrate your organ.
Had this sweet talk, I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes, sweet talk.
All right, right, Lauren. So we actually have a party that we're going to in a few days. So staying with this particular theme, what are the things going to this party
Yes.
are you most nervous about? And what are going to be your pickup lines, your openers at this party? Like what are your go-tos?
I think I definitely I compliment as an opener. I love your sunglasses, I love your bikini, or that you're not wearing one. I
glad
love
you
your
said
costume.
Because I'm going with nice cooter.
You liked that one.
Yeah, I think it sticks. I think it hits home. It gets right to the point.
Right.
It just says, I'm experienced. And I know other terms for the name of a vagina. Like medical terms. Like, I'm smart. I know medical terms for the vagina. Cooter is what the doctor calls it. When you go to an OBGYN, they say, all right, get up in the stirrups. I need to look at your cooter. That's what they say.
They do.
I know this because I go to an OBGYN every 6 months to get...
Your cooter checked.
Actually, it's just to fulfill my anesthesia prescription. But I do sit in the stirrups chair. All right, well, what about nerves? What nerves are you scared of?
We have a few friends that are going, so I'm not super nervous about that part, but I always have you.
I mean, it's sort of same thing. For me, it's always exactly what we said in the last segment, which is the lunchroom thing. Like, I don't want to show up and be like, who am I sitting with?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't like that feeling, that initial feeling of walking in. Again, and I'm not just saying this is why the takeovers are better, because you usually know almost 90% of the people that are going before you go, because you're able to connect with them. I hope people are nice. I'll start packing now because I usually overpack everything anyway. So I might as well start days before and just pile up luggage for a 4-day trip and have 20 shirts, 17 pairs of shorts. So I will do that. But I do know one thing. We are tan. So
Yes, we're ready.
we are ready. I started taking Melanotan 1 and I just feel a little stub where my tail's supposed to come out. So that seems to be working. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye. Find me on social media if you want to talk to me in between.
In between what? Your cooter? If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go leave a positive review.
Or for more information, go to room77life.com.
Thanks for stopping by Room 77.
We had a blast.
Now get your clothes and get out.